Hey y'all, welcome to my kitchen.
I was born and raised in the South, in a city, and now I live in the Midwest on a farm, and I love it. Other things I love are Jesus, my family, and everything food. I'm so glad you decided to join me today.
Hey y'all, the weather's getting cold. This morning it was so gorgeous outside. I usually wake with Rick in the morning early and I walk out with him and kind of visit and kind of check out the weather. It was stunning this morning. It was like a movie. It was gorgeous. I've said before, I love harvest. I love all the action plus the beauty of bringing in the corn, and I love to ride in the combine, and I love to ride in the grain cart and just see it all. One of my favorite things is to bring food out to the field to the guys. Oh, I just love that. I bring hot coffee for my father-in-law, Roger, and Rick, of course. Brother Ryan loves his Mountain Dew. Sunburger loves Gatorade Zero or a Coke Zero, or recently, caffeine-free Pepsi Zero. I love to have all their favorite drinks on hand, and they love all the desserts. I usually have a sweet bite and then something salty as well. And speaking of harvest, today we're gonna make such a fun harvest snack that you may love all year. Today we're gonna make shortbread harvest bars. Let me show you what you'll need.
Butter, brown sugar, an egg yolk, vanilla, salt, flour, Hershey bars, and candy for garnish if you like.
Hey y'all, I'm so excited about making these shortbread harvest bars with y'all today. They're gonna be so good. And I call them harvest bars, but let me tell you, you're gonna wanna eat them every day of the year. I wonder what kind of diet that would be nutritionally if we ate them every day of the year. Yum. I'm sitting here looking at my nails. I probably should have done a recoat. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got things to do today. We're gonna start off with our Hudson and Henning bowl. Hi, precious nephews, Hudson and Henning. See you at Thanksgiving. I love you both. Oh, I can't wait to see those boys. I am having a giant Thanksgiving this year. I've invited all the Arkansas family, and whosoever can come is coming, and we are so excited. We never know who's gonna come, but I always say the more the merrier. And I grew up in a family with 6 children, and my sweet mom, the hostess with the mostest, always welcomed everyone into her home, and I've always striven to be like her. I've always strived. I'll have to call her today and ask her about that grammar. She's such a good grammarian, and she edits books. I mean, she's a writer and she also edits books. Hi, Mom, I love you and miss you. Hi, Dad, I love you and miss you too. They're such a great team and I miss them. It's our longing for heaven, people. And back to a shallow note, we start off with 2 sticks of butter. I always use salted butter unless someone that I'm serving prefers no salt, then I'm game to be flexible. What are we if we're not flexible? Remember my sweet Uncle David, who is in heaven, he would always say, low expectations, high flexibility. He coined that phrase before family vacations. That's when he said it. And we have adopted that theme in many situations in life. Next, brown sugar. A cup of brown sugar. My sweet sister Hattie gave me this. Hi Hattie, I love you. Then you're gonna add 1 egg yolk and, ooh, I'm used to adding egg whites, so I just cracked it over, to put the white in there, but this one calls for a yolk, so be right back. I just realized I can use this to just bang that into my Hudson Henning bowl. I'm gonna use this to get the white. Here we go. So can y'all see? All right. Ooh, it comes out fast. Okay, so I've gotten the white. I can maybe add to some more egg whites today and make an angel food cake. My sweet granny who's in heaven, she was kind of famous for her angel food cakes, and she taught me how to do it one time when I was in junior high. All right, this is an egg yolk. My sweet granny was awesome. Can't wait to see her someday, along with my awesome other grandmother, Ree. They were amazing ladies. Then we have 1 teaspoon vanilla. Oh, I love it. And y'all know my favorite, the Joneses family vanilla. They homemade this. They're an incredible family, and the vanilla is second to none. They sell it once a year, and whenever I see it advertised, or if I see them at church, and I think it's about time to buy the vanilla, I always try to get my order in early. Then we're gonna do 1 teaspoon salt. Look at this precious teaspoon, my beautiful, precious Blythe. And that's so funny, she got me these. And y'all, look how fun this is. I love our grocery store in our town. I love our grocery store, I've said that before. But they sold the pink Himalayan salt. I love that. So of course, Rick says I'm a marketer's dream. but pink salt. I usually pour salt over my sink so that if I spill any, it can be a little scrub. I'm gonna do that now. Okay, and I did spill some, for those of you who are wondering. It's not a party till something gets spilled. Then we're gonna add 2.5 cups flour, and my sweet mama gave me these. Hi, sweet mama, I love you. Okay, here we go. There's one. And y'all, to expedite this process, like I said, I'm doing a lot today. I love empty nest because I can choose what I do. For example, in my garden, there keep coming up these big green zucchini squashes, and I don't want to waste a single one of those. And so I'll go out there every morning, and if I see a big squash, I'll twist it and bring it in. And then I like to take off the skin and chop it and puree it and save it in freezer bags in 2-cup increments so that I can make my zucchini bread for Rick all throughout the year. I feel like such a homesteader. Anyway, this is the second part of the flour. This is the 1.5 cups. Now we're just gonna mix that. It's a little bit chillier, and so my butter is a little bit more firm. Sometimes you can set your butter out to let it get soft, but we haven't turned the heat on yet. I love it cold, so I'm waiting till the last possible second. Okay, y'all, full disclosure, I was mixing this and it was so hard to mix. So I got out my cutter and I've been cutting this, and look how pretty it is. So I don't know if you want to mess with a mixer, if you just want to go ahead and cut it together. Y'all, this dough smells so good. I just have to say, oh, yum. Then you're just gonna take a 9x13 pan and put parchment paper on the bottom. I could have just pressed it in there, but I was kind of feeling like cutting it today. So whatever you decide, there are no rules with parchment paper. All right, let's get it in this pan. This dough is so beautiful. I think I'm gonna, instead of saying mix it on the recipe, I'm gonna say cut it in with a cutter. Unless your butter is soft. But I don't know. Kind of like the cold butter with it being cut in. Now for the fun part, we're gonna press it in. If you have little hands in the kitchen, great job for them. Little helpers. I love having little helpers in the kitchen. I also let my girls help me cook and bake ever since they were little. And all 4 of them are better cooks than me. Okay, now put this in a 350-degree oven for 20 minutes. Y'all, look how beautiful that is. Oh, that is so gorgeous, and it smells so good. It's time to put Hershey bars on. So unwrap those babies and get them on there. But be careful, don't burn yourself on the hot pan. Okay, here we go. Woo! I want to leave a little crust around the edge. You know, Hershey bars are wrapped in plastic, but they used to be wrapped in paper. I remember as a little girl them being wrapped in paper. They were a lot easier to open. Just saying. I mean, I'm not complaining about a Hershey bar. Y'all know me better. All right, y'all, I only had to use 5 Hershey bars. Wow. Okay, do you see how it's kind of melty? It's time to spread that chocolate out. There's something so satisfying about spreading chocolate in designs. I remember my sweet mama talking on the phone when I was young, and she would always have a piece of paper and a pen, and she would doodle, and her doodles were art. They were gorgeous. Wonder if she has any saved. Now comes an even more fun part. You're going to take some candy corn and little pumpkins. Rick and I put a pumpkin patch in our garden this year. It was so much fun, along with the other things. So for our harvest shortbread bars, we're going to put a little pumpkin. So I'm gonna stick that right there, okay? And then y'all, if you want to put a whole lot of candy corn and pumpkins on the top, go for it. Otherwise, otherwise you could just put 1 candy corn and 1 pumpkin on each square, so to speak. My sweet mother-in-law, Pam, who is farm wife extraordinaire for many, many years, she calls these candies corn candy. She doesn't call them candy corn. She calls them corn candy. So let's elevate the corn people. So of course, in honor of her, because I'm crazy about her, these are not candy corn, these are corn candy. We're done. Y'all, thanks so much for being with me today and making some shortbread harvest bars. I hope you have a great week. Don't forget to thank Jesus and enjoy. See you next time.